Over 60? Conquer the 3 p.m. crash with Japan's Okinawa secrets. Have you ever stood up around 3 in the afternoon and thought, "Whoa, why do my legs feel like sandbags today?" You're not alone. That weird heaviness has a name, the 3 p.m. slump. And for many of us, it shows up as an afternoon energy crash right when we still have things to do. Some people call it the post-lunch dip, but here's the truth. Even if you ate a light lunch, your body can still slide into that low-power mode. It's not laziness. It's not just aging. It's your circadian rhythm quietly steering the ship. Think of your day like a tide. In the morning, your body is primed to use energy smoothly. Later in the day, a few dials turn down. Focus gets fuzzier, motivation dips, and even simple movements can feel heavier. Add in timing issues with insulin sensitivity. Your body usually handles carbs better in the morning than later. And suddenly the same sandwich can hit harder at 3 p.m. than it did at 9 a.m. Put those pieces together, and you get that, "Why is standing up from this chair a workout" feeling? The good news: we can stack the day in your favor with small, smart moves. In this video, I'll show you how to smooth out the afternoon energy crash without adding a brutal workout or a complicated diet. We'll use 3 simple levers: protein timing, so your muscles actually get the build signal; a quick 10-minute rhythm reset routine right in the dip window. Yes, the best time to work out for seniors can be short and strategic. And a few food and lifestyle habits borrowed from a place famous for living long and strong: Japanese longevity. Why Japan? Because many Japanese communities model a way of eating and moving that protects energy and muscle across the whole day, without extremes. You'll hear about the Okinawa diet, rich in fish, soy, vegetables, and sea vegetables, and the mindful habit of hara, hachi, which simply means stop at 80% full. These aren't fads. They're steady, sustainable habits that keep blood sugar calmer, support digestion, and make it easier to move after meals. They also pair perfectly with our protein timing plan, helping you hit the muscle on switch, hello Leucine threshold, at breakfast and lunch, so your body doesn't fade when the clock strikes 3. Here's how we'll roll. First, I'll break down what the post-lunch dip really is. No scary jargon, so you can stop blaming yourself. Then I'll show you why timing matters, and how to build plates that keep you steady in the afternoon. We'll do a quick, joint-friendly routine you can perform in normal clothes next to a chair. Nothing fancy, no gym required. And along the way, we'll borrow the best ideas from Japanese longevity, the Okinawa diet, hara hachi, even a calm cup of green tea, so you get the benefits without changing your whole life overnight. By the end, you'll have a 7-day plan you can start today. Protein timing that actually works for older muscles, a short routine to wake up the body when you need it most, and a lunch template inspired by Japan to prevent that 3 p.m. slump from knocking you off your feet. If you're ready to turn your afternoons from wobbly to steady, let's begin. What is the 3 p.m. muscle drop? That heavy, wobbly feeling after lunch isn't a personal failure. It's a predictable body clock valley, often called the post-lunch dip. Even when you eat lightly, many people feel a slide in alertness and steadiness between early and mid-afternoon. That's your circadian rhythm shifting you into a lower arousal state for a bit, which can make simple movements feel heavier and balance a little less confident. In short, your brain is a touch sleepier, so your body feels a touch weaker. Here's the twist. Lab studies often show that raw strength and power can peak later in the day, late afternoon, early evening. But everyday life isn't a controlled lab. If your mind is foggy from the post-lunch dip, your motivation, coordination, and balance in seniors can dip too, so you don't feel strong when it's time to stand up, carry groceries, or take the stairs. That's why we treat the 3 p.m. slump as both a brain alertness and a body stability problem. We'll fix it from both angles, timing your food and adding a short afternoon routine that wakes up the system. Another piece of the puzzle is insulin sensitivity. Your body generally handles carbohydrates better earlier in the day than later. So the same lunch could push blood sugar higher at 3 p.m. than it would at 9 a.m., which many people experience as an afternoon energy crash, heavy legs, softer grip, slower get-ups. This isn't about blaming carbs, it's about respecting timing. In a moment, we'll use gentle food shifts and a 10-minute rhythm reset to smooth that valley so your energy and balance come back online. Why did it happen? Circadian rhythm plus insulin sensitivity. Think of your metabolism like a clock. Your internal circadian rhythm doesn't just control sleep, it also sets when you handle food best. In controlled in-lab studies at Brigham and Women's Hospital/Harvard Medical School, researchers showed that our glucose tolerance is naturally worse in the evening, even when meals and sleep are kept the same. The exact same lunch can be handled more smoothly in the morning than later in the day, one big reason for that afternoon energy crash. This drop isn't only about what you ate. Part of it is a real post-lunch dip, a built-in mid-afternoon valley in alertness. Classic work by Timothy Monk, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, found the post-lunch dip can appear even if you didn't eat lunch, pointing to a biological timing effect rather than just meal size. Poor sleep tends to make the dip feel worse. That's why your legs can feel heavy and your balance a bit off around 3 p.m. Add a second layer, insulin sensitivity. Your cells are typically more responsive in the morning and less responsive later in the day. In shift work experiments, again from Brigham/Harvard, both internal circadian time and circadian misalignment independently reduced glucose tolerance, helping explain why late eating or irregular schedules can magnify the 3 p.m. slump. For everyday life, it means a morning versus evening glucose difference is normal, and it's smarter to keep afternoon meals protein-forward and steady on carbs. The good news is that simple behaviors can buffer this valley. Breaking up long sitting with 2-minute light walks every approximately 20 to 30 minutes lowers post-meal glucose and insulin, a perfect pre-reset tactic before our short afternoon routine. We'll build this into the plan so your energy and confidence don't fall off a cliff at 3 p.m. As we age, many of us run into anabolic resistance. Older muscles don't switch on growth as easily after small or low-protein meals. The goal isn't to eat huge amounts. It's to send a clear signal at the right times using smart protein timing. Think of each meal as a chance to flip the muscle's power switch. When the dose is too small, the switch barely moves. When you hit the target, you get a noticeable response that supports sarcopenia prevention and helps you build muscle after 60. That target is practical and simple, about protein per meal, 30 grams of high-quality protein, which usually delivers roughly 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine, enough to cross the leucine threshold and fully trigger muscle protein synthesis. Hitting this threshold matters more than grazing on little bits all day. A strong breakfast sets the tone, blunts the post-lunch dip, and steadies appetite. A solid protein-forward lunch protects you from the afternoon energy crash when the clock strikes 3. You can reach the threshold with familiar foods you likely enjoy. A morning plate might be eggs with Greek yogurt and berries, a tofu scramble with vegetables, or a cottage cheese bowl with fruit and nuts, each arranged to land near that protein per meal, 30 grams. Midday, think salmon with mixed vegetables and a modest scoop of rice or quinoa, a soy combination like tofu with edamame over greens, or a chicken and bean salad dressed with olive oil and lemon. If a meal falls short, stack a small side, such as kefir, soy milk, or a handful of edamame, to tip you over the leucine threshold without making the plate heavy. Quality counts, but distribution may be the missing lever. Many older adults take a light breakfast and pack protein into dinner. Instead, aim for about 30 grams at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 steady hits that keep your muscles switched on all day. Lean into leucine-dense choices, dairy like Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, eggs, fish such as tuna or salmon, lean meats if you eat them, and soy foods like tofu, tempeh, and fortified soy milk. This approach keeps meals enjoyable while reliably turning on the muscle build signal. If you live with kidney issues or take medications that affect protein handling, personalize your targets with your healthcare team before pushing intake higher. The strategy still applies. Clear per meal signaling at times that matter most, but your exact number may differ. Combine this protein strategy with our brief afternoon routine, and you'll create a 1-2 punch: nutrition that tells muscles to build, plus movement that re-alerts your nervous system. Over the next weeks, that's how steadier strength, better balance, and calmer energy replace the 3 p.m. slump. In the early afternoon, right before or during your 3 p.m. slump, do a gentle afternoon routine that lasts about 10 minutes. Step to a bright window or outdoors for a minute or two to nudge alertness, then take a few slow breaths to settle your rhythm. This is a short workout, tailored for the best time to work out for senior when energy dips. Think calm, joint-friendly chair exercises and wall support that create a quick energy boost without fatigue. Start near your chair and move continuously, easy pace, like a flowing circuit. Sit and stand smoothly several times to wake up legs and hips. Turn to a wall or counter for controlled pushes that switch on chest, shoulders, and core. Stand tall and do a slow march, where each knee lift pauses for 2 seconds to sharpen balance training. Hinge gently at the hips with hands on thighs to re-engage the backside chain. Face the wall again and glide your forearms upward like slow snow angels to open the shoulders and upper back. Finish with calm calf raises while holding the chair for stability. Keep breathing steadily, keep posture tall, and let the whole sequence feel manageable. If needed, reduce the range, touch the chair lightly for confidence, or shorten any part so the routine stays comfortable for seniors' strength goals. Stay mindful of safety cues. No breath holding, no sharp pain, and pause if you feel dizzy or unwell. Grippy shoes help, barefoot only if you're very stable. If you have fall risk, heart concerns, or other medical issues, clear this plan with your healthcare team first. Remember, our aim is not exhaustion. It's to lift alertness, improve coordination, and steady balance during the valley that fuels the afternoon energy crash. As you get used to it, lightly progress by moving a touch slower with better control, or repeat the first 2 moves once more, or add a relaxed 2-minute walk after the sequence. Pair this routine with a protein-forward lunch that helps you reach the leucine threshold, and you'll feel a stronger on signal in the muscles plus a steadier glucose response. That simple combo, timed movement plus smart protein timing, is what turns this 10-minute reset into a reliable antidote to the 3 p.m. slump. Japan's reputation for exceptional longevity isn't hype, it shows up in hard numbers. As of September 1st, 2025, Japan counted 99,763 centenarians, the vast majority women, evidence of a population that sustains health deep into old age. That context matters for our topic, because we're borrowing habits that keep energy steady after lunch and protect muscle across the day. A major pillar is dietary pattern. In a large 15-year prospective cohort, higher adherence to the Japanese food guide, spinning top, a balanced approach built around grains, often rice, vegetables, fish, and soy, milk and fruit in sensible portions, was linked with lower total mortality in both men and women. This style naturally fits our afternoon strategy. Protein is present, but portions are mindful, vegetables are abundant, and refined sweets are modest, which helps blunt the post-lunch dip and keeps the afternoon energy crash at bay. Zooming out, national analyses from the National Cancer Center Tokyo argue that Japan's life expectancy edge reflects low rates of ischemic heart disease and certain cancers, supported by a washaku pattern rich in seafood and in 3 fats, soy, vegetables, seaweeds, and green tea, with comparatively low saturated fat and red meat. For our purposes, this makes the afternoon plate simple. A protein-forward lunch, salmon, tofu, tempeh, edamame, plus plenty of veg and a modest scoop of rice or soba delivers the amino acids to hit the leucine threshold without feeling heavy, while the fiber and lower saturated fat help keep blood sugar steady. Okinawa offers an especially useful behavior cue, hara hachi bu. Stop at 80% full. Research from the Okinawa Centenarian study describes traditional meals as nutrient-dense, yet light, with caloric moderation practiced culturally rather than enforced by dieting. That combination, plant-forward plates, including soy, and gentle portion control, supports stable energy after meals and makes it easier to do our 10-minute routine during the 3 p.m. slump, instead of wanting to nap. Taken together, Japan's pattern gives us a practical template for afternoons. Eat to satiety, but not stuffed. Hara hachi bu. Anchor lunch with fish or soy to reach approximately 30 grams of protein per meal and trigger the leucine threshold. Load the plate with vegetables and a modest portion of smart carbs, and consider unsweetened green tea for a gentle lift. Pair that with sunlight and the mini routine, and you've got a culturally tested way to stay light, steady, and strong after lunch. Exactly when the circadian rhythm wants to dip. Your afternoon armor plate is a simple way to steady energy when your circadian rhythm naturally dips. The idea is to build a protein-forward lunch that turns on muscle building, adds plenty of fiber, and uses smart carbs in modest portions so you avoid the afternoon energy crash. Think of lunch as a calm reset button, strong enough to hit the leucine threshold, light enough to keep you upright, and ready for our mini routine. Start with a protein anchor of roughly protein per meal, 30 grams. In practice, that looks like 100 to 120 grams cooked salmon or chicken, a generous serving of tofu or tempeh, about 150 to 200 grams, a tuna bowl, or a Greek yogurt-based plate with extras. This dose usually provides approximately 2.5 to 3 grams leucine, which is the on signal your muscles need. Rotating fish and soy makes it easy to reach that leucine threshold without feeling heavy, and it aligns perfectly with Japanese longevity patterns we admire. Next, pile on color and fiber with at least 2 big handfuls of vegetables, leafy greens, brassicas, peppers, tomatoes, or a small seaweed salad. Fiber slows digestion, improves blood sugar control, and pairs beautifully with a modest serving of smart carbs like a half cup of rice or quinoa, a small soba portion, or a piece of fruit. If you love carbs, front-load more of them at breakfast when insulin sensitivity is higher, then keep lunch balanced and lighter to protect the afternoon. Flavor it the Japanese diet flavors way, so lunch stays exciting without excess sugar. A spoon of miso whisked into a light dressing, grated ginger, a drizzle of sesame, a splash of rice vinegar, scallions, or nori strips. If sodium is a concern, choose low-sodium miso or dilute soy sauce with vinegar and water, and lean on citrus, herbs, and toasted sesame for big taste. Sip water or unsweetened green tea for a gentle lift. It's a cultural win and a practical one. Aim for hara hachi bu. Stop at about 80% full, so you leave the table clear-headed, not sleepy. If you're on the go, assemble the same template in a bowl or bento, tofu and edamame over mixed greens with cucumbers and a small scoop of rice, or salmon with broccoli, carrots, and a little quinoa, or a Greek yogurt base topped with berries and crushed nuts when you need a cool, fast option. Plant-based days are easy. A soy combo like tofu plus edamame hits the leucine threshold cleanly. If dairy suits you, Greek yogurt or cottage cheese can do the same. If a meal comes up short, add a quick side, kefir, soy milk, or a handful of edamame to tip you over the mark. Personalize the plate to your health context. If you have kidney concerns or take medications that affect protein handling, coordinate your exact target with your care team. Then keep the strategy, clear per-meal signaling and mindful portions intact. The magic is the combination. A protein-forward lunch that reliably hits the leucine threshold, ample fiber for blood sugar control, thoughtfully sized smart carbs, and bright Japanese diet flavors finished with green tea and hara, hachi, bu. Do that, and the afternoon feels lighter, steadier, and ready for your 10-minute reset. For the 7-day challenge, start each morning with protein first and aim for protein per meal, then build a protein-forward lunch with veggie fiber and smart carbs in modest portions, so the circadian rhythm dip doesn't trigger a 3 p.m. slump. Eat to hara, hachi, bu, so you leave the table clear-headed, take brief daylight exposure, and do the 10-minute rhythm reset to wake legs and balance. Sip water steadily, keep any power nap short and early, and note a daily energy score at 3 p.m. so you can see the afternoon energy crash fade by week's end. If carbs make you sleepy, front-load carbs at breakfast when insulin sensitivity is higher and keep lunch balanced. The best time to work out is the time you'll do consistently, but a brief afternoon micro-workout during the dip is a reliable boost. Keep distribution in mind, not just total protein, and personalize targets with your healthcare team if you have kidney concerns. Your fix is simple. Respect circadian rhythm, use precise protein timing to beat anabolic resistance, anchor lunch with fish and soy the Japanese way, and move with the 10-minute rhythm reset so the afternoon energy crash becomes rare. Join the 7-day challenge, comment Day 1 done, and share your plate and chair stand time. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone battling the 3 p.m. slump. Disclaimer: this is not medical advice. It is educational only. Bodies, conditions, and medications vary, especially for seniors. Confirm meal timing, protein targets, workouts, naps, and supplements with a clinician using history and labs before adopting.